Well, we made it through this weekend. Oh, goodness, it was a hot one out there. Hotter temperatures, that was the expectation this weekend. Check that off the box. Drier conditions on Saturday, clearer skies. Well, we checked that off the box yesterday. Added cloud coverage today. We're checking that box off now. We still have some storms surviving in the mountain zones, but not for long. Once we get into the later hours tonight and into Monday morning, we won't see those storms developing or continuing in the mountains. That will have to hold off until about the middle of next week when we do see the return of our favored storm pattern. Now, the high pressure system is wiggling off towards the east today, still close in proximity, close enough to keep us on the hot side of things today. Just not quite as hot as yesterday, but still. And I will say this, not near record territory. Eesh. But as it starts to move and those Pacific Northwest storms continue to traverse west to east in the northern tier states, we will get an increase in moisture. That's exactly what we had this afternoon. I think it's going to get cut off tomorrow, but that was the reason why we saw those cloud formations in the mountain zones today. That is the reason why we did rip a few storms in the San Juans. That's the rain chance that was represented for Montrose. More so for Montrose this evening and less so for Grand Junction, but we still maintain mostly dry conditions officially. Now, high pressure system today was just enough to keep a little bit of transport in from the Gulf of Mexico, a little bit of influence from the Eastern Pacific, but this is not a permanent position. That high is going to work its way back to the west for the start of the work week, and then it's going to fade back to the east after the middle of this upcoming work week. What does that mean to you? Hot. Buster Poindexter. Hot, hot, hot. The difference is after Wednesday, we'll start to see more storms developing in the mountain zones. And then later into next week, after Friday, I think, that's when we'll see some of those storms drifting over the lower valley sites. So that means by the end of next week, after all the heat, and by the way, the humidity is going to be increasing after Wednesday, so it's going to get a little uncomfortable Thursday, again for farmers market, and Friday. And we may even maintain some breezy conditions those afternoons late next week. But I think we're going to return to our summer thunderstorm pattern for the next weekend. With that, average high temperature for Grand Junction this time of the year, 95 and 63. So middle 60s, middle 90s. And you can see this week, July not letting us down with hotter than average temperatures. Just a little reminder, heat safety tips for you. Slow down when you're outside. You don't need to overdo it. Maybe exercise early in the morning hours. Sunrise happens around 5:50. It's still very nice in the early morning hours. Of course, by 9:30, 10 o'clock, we're already pushing 90 degrees. And then it becomes unbearable towards the midday. So please avoid heavy meals. And this is just what I do for myself. I avoid alcohol, caffeine, except I just love a good iced tea. It is so refreshing. I don't eat my heavy meals. I do that first thing in the morning, and then throughout the day it's light. And then I treat myself to a nice cold salad with protein in the evenings. Cool down. If you're outside working, seek shade. Give yourself regular hydration breaks. Check in on others. If you know someone doesn't have a good, effective cooling system in their home, check in on them. Maybe we should start up a hot weather task force where we could deliver fans. I don't know, just an idea. And as always, please don't leave your children and don't leave your pets in the car. Pets specifically, you're going to run an errand, don't leave them in the car. Leave the pet at home. Children, getting left in the back seat. Dangerous situation. Put a shoe, put a phone, put a purse, a wallet in the back seat, please. Not on my watch.